Everybody point and laugh at Chad Kelly. Oh, the Schadenfreude is so real in this game. Okay, first off, before I get, I gotta turn the light. Okay, I'm gonna turn my lights on, and I gotta get them on for a specific reason. I know you can't see me now, but you don't need to see me. You need to see a signed Lewis Ward card. This is la creme de la creme. And let me just say, Lewis Ward is not only one of the most exceptionally gifted kickers, not just in the history of Canadian football, not just in the history of the Red Blacks, but in the history of football. He has like CFL records and professional football records up the wazoo. I mean, I'm just looking at the back of his card, and his statistics are unreal. And this doesn't include, the season that he's currently playing, which is also unreal, which included him going 4 for 4 tonight, including a 51-yarder. That is no gimme. But he is also one of the most exceptionally nice individuals I've ever met. This is not the first time I've gotten an autograph from Lewis Ward. I have a bunch of autographed memorabilia. I'm trying to see if I can find any offhand, but he has signed many different things. My foam finger, that's a Lewis Ward signed piece of memorabilia. I know I have a foam miniature football somewhere here that he's signed. He's taken pictures with me. If you've watched all my videos, you would know that he's been in a video with me where he said, go Ottawa, go. And he is so truly kind and humble. And having somebody like him on the team, you can tell that it really adds to the team culture and that he makes us better on and off the field. And so I'm going to put this right here. That's something that I think we need to talk about for this game, because that was most certainly a theme. I try to keep things light here. I try to keep them family friendly. And I'm going to keep this video generally family friendly. But just so you know, this next, I'm going to estimate minute. I'm not a YouTube wizard, but I'm going to try to put somewhere in the video, if I can, a timestamp of like skip past X timestamp to skip this part. And I do want to put in a trigger warning that I am going to be talking about sexual harassment. This was Chad Kelly's first game against Ottawa since his suspension. And I think it's a slap in the face that one player was banned for life for gambling on CFL games. Don't get me wrong. You shouldn't be gambling on CFL games, especially as a CFL player. That is objectively wrong and immoral. And sexual harassment, alleged, I gotta say alleged. I don't want to get sued by Chad Kelly of the Toronto Argonauts. So alleged sexual harassment is far worse. But to be fair, alleged gambling on games, there was never a trial, was there? Was he convicted of a felony of throwing games? Was there a criminal trial? No, there wasn't. Yet he was still banned for life. So the precedent is clearly set that if the CFL does its own investigation and finds wrongdoing, they can ban you for life, whether or not a criminal court case took place. And the precedent they set is that they investigated one person accused of sexual harassment and of the organization covering it up and concluded, half a season suspension. Just half a season, that's all. And they investigated somebody else who was accused of betting on CFL games, came to the conclusion through their own investigation that they felt there was substantial enough evidence that he'd done that, and banned him for life. Chad Kelly should never have been allowed to set foot on this football field. Now, after this game, irregardless of his behavior off the field, just based off of what he did on the field, he shouldn't be playing next game. This was karma hitting him in the face with a full force Ottawa REDBLACKS defense. And I think it is very fitting that we're the team to do it, because for those of you that have followed me for a while, I am not afraid to speak up when I think a team that I'm cheering for has made the wrong move. When we cut Michaela Grant-Mentis, I thought that was terrible. When we traded Lexi Agia for what was effectively peanuts, I said, just watch Boston, who we were ahead of in the standings at that time. I said, just watch Boston take us out. Watch them be the team that beats us out. And that is exactly what happened. When Boston had their backs up against the wall and needed to win every single game, they did. And Lexi Agia was a key part of that. She got a few vital points. So some of you might have been surprised when I was silent about Rock Armstead getting cut, because his play on the field has been exceptional. But if you listen to the interviews, if you listen to what the team said, what Bob Dice said, it wasn't his play on the field that got him cut. They all unanimously praised his play on the field. It's very evidently behavior. Behavior was the issue. Behavior on the field and likely off the field. So he was cut. And I stand by that decision. If somebody is going to negatively impact the team culture because of how they behave, you cut them irregardless of their abilities on the field. And it is fitting that Kalen LeBron came in replacing Armstead, the new number one running back. 10 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown. That's the key there. And a touchdown. You do not need to employ people who negatively impact the team culture to win football games. And you are joking me if you're going to stand here and say, yeah, but Cameron Dukes would have done worse than Chad Kelly did in this game. Are you kidding me? 4 picks, 2 to the house, and 6 sacks? Hang that up in the Louvre, take a picture. That is a Canadian heritage moment when you got to see Chad Kelly fuming because he's just had a terrible game. When Damon Webb got his second pick 6, Ottawa had never had a pick 6 twice in a game as a team, as a whole. The Red Blacks have never done that. And then one guy on the Red Blacks, Damon Webb, who have yourself a game. Oh my goodness. Made Chad Kelly look like a punk. Chad Kelly threw 2 touchdowns to Ottawa before he threw 1 to Toronto. And you would say, okay, this is a textbook game of how stats don't tell the full story, because statistically, he didn't do that bad. 36 completions across 56 attempts for 463 yards. And 3 touchdowns. What they failed to mention is how most of those stats came in garbage time, because the garbage time started when the second half kicked off. We were up 28 at that. Remember the dog walking against BC? It was 31-6 at halftime, and everyone threw their hands up and said, the game's already over. The game's done. We can just wait till the next game to start, which wasn't until the next day, in fact. It was 31-3 at halftime. We did 3 points better by half. This was a good old-fashioned butt kicking, and it couldn't have happened to a more deserving quarterback. It couldn't have happened to somebody who deserved it more. Yeah, that's all there really is to say. Based off of how he acted off the field everybody wanted to see him fail. Everybody wanted to see this man get embarrassed. I think I've been saying it for 2 or 3 videos now. I hope when he comes to Ottawa, we bully him. And I couldn't have imagined it would be this good. I thought, a pick 6. Maybe even, 2. And like 3 sacks, Yeah, like a pick 6, 2 other picks, and 3 sacks. Ooh, that'd be embarrassing. Especially if they end up getting blown out. And it was so much worse. We had a 2-and-out to start the game. Like, Toronto had a 2-and-out. We got a good pass. Stove almost extends the drive, but it slips by. It was rainy. We have to punt. And then, boom, pick 6 on the board first. 7-0 Ottawa. Now Toronto gets a good return. Boom, another pick. He threw back-to-back picks. Back-to-back picks. And that led to a field goal. Lewis Ward, again, 4-4. One was from 51 yards out. 10-0. 10-0. Immediately to start the game. Toronto gets a big run to our 40. They make it 10-3. Oh, okay. They're going to have some fight. We trade 2-and-outs, but we have the ball near midfield. We got some good plays, move the ball down to their 30. We got a PI down to their 14. Now we only get 2 more yards, but that's okay. 13-3. Toronto, they got a big pass down to the 30, and the quarter comes to an end. It was a good first quarter. We're up 10. We're up 10 at the end of the first quarter, but they're now in Ottawa territory, and this is where I'm like, okay, we got to clamp down. We got to get a stop, get the ball back. If they just kick a field goal, we're still really in control of the game. They did not kick a field goal because they were driving down the field. We get a 4-yard sack. Bing! There's sack number 1 on Chad Kelly. He says, I'll do you one better. And he throws another pick 6 to Damon Webb. And this one isn't like the first one. The first pick 6, it was 21 yards. The next one, I want to say it was 93 yards. But it was long. And boom, that's when the game is like the first time where we're like, okay, so we can go home now. 20-3. 20-3. We weren't done. So, they don't get much going. Punt, and we start our drive off at the 48, our own 48. And Drew Brown with a huge pass to Andre Miller, who gets his first CFL touchdown. And this is where, oh my God, I'm licking my chops. I'm excited. Because that's what a good quarterback does. That's what a next man up league is like. With Ackland out, with Pimpleton out, with Addison out, you would think that we would be done, right? Look who scored our touchdowns. Andre Miller. First one for CFL touchdown. First one with us. Same with Kalen LeBron. First touchdown. First time he's with the team that he comes in and gets a touchdown for us. Damon Webb, who's a defensive player. A good quarterback. Stove was looking really good. A good quarterback will make sure that it doesn't matter who he's with, because everyone will succeed thanks to his leadership. Leadership! Leaders! That's what leaders do. And just like that, it is 27-3. And Kelly gets sacked again. That's 2. That's 3 picks, 2 to the house, and 2 sacks. Incomplete pass. We get the ball back. And we move the ball a bit. Don't get too far, but we get enough to get a rouge. At this point, Richie Leone has scored 1 point, and the entirety of the Argonauts have scored 3. There was a time where it was like, oh, Leone might outscore the Argos. That's how bad it got. The 3-minute warning hits. We got the ball back. They take a 10-yard penalty, which prevented a first down. And it starts, we're at our 35. We got a penalty, and then we got a huge play. And we get down to their 44, drive stalls. Ward, like I said, 51 yards. Doesn't matter. It's Lewis Ward. It's 31-3. Toronto's moving the ball, though. They're looking dangerous. Oh, maybe Chad Kelly is gonna get sacked again. Okay, that's good. But it's only he's gonna do it again. That's 4. That's 4 by halftime. He brought up 3rd and 25. 3rd and 25. They were in field goal range. They had to punt. Not because of penalties, but because Chad Kelly got sacked twice on back-to-back plays and turned a 1st and 10 in field goal range into a 3rd and 25 in a punting situation. And we are able to kneel out the half. Oh my, like, you couldn't script it any better. Oh, he's finally looking like he's got, like, then it didn't matter. We started the second half with the ball. By the time they scored a field goal, by the way, a field goal. They didn't even score a touchdown until 10 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. There was like 13 minutes left when they made it 31 to 6? Oh, no, they got the touchdown first. Never mind. They got a good return. Kelly escaped the tackle to make it 31-10. But next drive. And this is the drive that I think this is when you could pack it up and say, okay, game's over. Because 31-10, that's 21 points. Which it's pretty out of it. Like, that's pretty much the game. But in the CFL, 21 points is not completely insurmountable in the 3rd quarter with about 10 minutes left. That's a lot of time, and we know how the 3-minute warning is, how the rules change a little bit. And we nearly blow it. We have a first down, and we fumble it, and it looks like Toronto's about to get the ball back. And this is what I mean, where if they can just boom like that, get a quick 14 points... all of a sudden, a 28-point lead at halftime is halved in, about 5-7 minutes? Probably. They'd be getting it at midfield, but they had a good opportunity to make it a 14-point game with about a quarter and a half left. That is super doable. Justin Hardy makes... in any other game, the play of the game, and in this game, just a casual Ottawa REDBLACKS play. Because between the two Damon Webb pick sixes, or the huge run for the Miller touchdown, not to mention this drive also was capped with a touchdown. This play, Lewis Ward had a 51-yarder, so this play's maybe top 5, top 4, top 5. But then it's like, okay, which of the two Lewis Ward God tier, like this player, the Lewis Ward God tier field goal was like the 5th best play we had this game. Our 5th best play we had this game is probably better than their best play. Yeah, Chad Kelly had a better second half. The game was done because we get the ball back, drive down the field. It's long, it's methodical. We punch it in, get another touchdown to make it 38-10. And that's the bow on this game. That was it. We looked like we got a pick. It was tipped. Toronto catches it. And they get a big pass. 1st and goal. They go for it on 3rd down. Turnover on downs. We didn't turn the ball over until garbage time. Now, they did turn the ball over, I think, in garbage time as well. But the turnovers at the end of this game were 6-2. They didn't sack us once. So if you take turnovers and sacks, we were 10 better. Oh my god, he deserved it so much. I didn't feel bad once for him. When the entire stadium was mocking him, was jeering him, Kelly, Kelly. No one felt bad for him. There was not a soul who said, oh, that must suck to be here. It was schadenfreude. It was karma. It's what we needed. It was justice being played out on the football field. It was the Red Blacks saying, fine. If you won't take him out because of what he's done off the field, let's see what he does on it. Which was not much. So even though we had a decent drive, it didn't matter. We get the stop. We move the ball a bit and we punt. And while they're moving the ball well, they have a 2nd and 9 at the end of the third quarter. At the end of the third quarter. It's 38-10. We're up 28. Nobody scores 28 points in a quarter. Nobody. They had their best quarter in the in the fourth quarter. They got 17 points. It's not bad. We had 18 in the second quarter. And 7 of, I'd actually say 10 of those 17 were in complete garbage time. Like, the game is so long over that who cares? Like, that was just stat padding to make it not look as bad. When you go into the fourth quarter down 28, the game is done. You can go home. Quite frankly, I'm surprised he finished the game. Because how he was playing, they should have put Dukes in. He would have done better. He would have done better. They get a bomb to the end zone. It's out of bounds. Another incomplete pass, and they kick a field goal. It's 38-13. We go for it on 3rd and 1 at our 50, and I didn't like the call. I think there were, I want to say 7 minutes left about. And I was at that point like, just kick it to them. Make it impossible to score. But it's like not the worst decision. We didn't get it. So they get the ball back. And I'm like, don't let them back into this game. It's the last thing you want. And it was 12 minutes. I'm now seeing it's a little over 12 minutes left in the game. And I'm like, we're up 25, but, play it safe, play it safe. And they go for it on 3rd and 4, and they didn't get it, but a PI is called now. It wasn't soft. Yeah, it was PI. But all of this to say, I don't think he was going to catch it. I don't, the PI is obvious, but I think if we just played it safe, if we just played our position better, it would have just been knocked away. Ultimately, they convert. They go for 2. They get it. 38-21. And they did this with 10:45 left in the game. The game's done. 17 points. Now, okay, again, CFL. CFL, 17 points. Man, it's doable. It's doable. Get some first downs. Rhymes gets us down to the 20. We get ultimately to their 17, and Ward, boom. 41-21. 41-21. We're up 20 points. 20. And there's what? I think 10-ish minutes to play, or 11-ish. So they get to our 51. They go for it on 3rd and 2. And if you've been counting, there's turnover number 6. Aw, did Chad Kelly not get it done? Boo-hoo. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. We're having a good drive. They get away with an OPI. We challenge it. We get it. It's very obvious OPI. And it gets called. Yeah. We ultimately don't really do too much with it. The OPI prevented a pick, so we could have gotten a pick, but whatever. We got a sack. We got a sack immediately afterwards. And then, yeah, then the game ends, really. I think they got, one more touchdown. Yeah, one more touchdown, and they didn't even get the 2-point conversion. They got the touchdown with 50 seconds left. It's 41-21. It's 41-21, and we were still sacking him, and he still looked garbage, and we nearly got another touchdown. Rhymes catches a dime and gets down to about their 3-yard line when he fumbles it. It was nearly 48-21, and that would have been like we would have exploded if he did that, but we didn't need to. 8-3-1, baby. And that is how you respond after that garbage game against BC. And what did I say? I said, hey, these happen. It's on to the next one. That's what matters. Oh, on to the next one did we go. 8-3-1. We now have a 5-point lead on Toronto. 6 games. That's huge. Especially being that they also have to face us and Montreal. That's not easy. That's a tall friggin' order. I don't know if they also face BC or not, but in either case, we've set ourselves up in perfect position to try and lock in a playoff spot within the next potentially 2 weeks. I think we could, as early as 2 weeks from now, we could clinch a playoff spot. We could clinch a home playoff game, I think, also as early as 2 weeks from now. And here's the best part. BC beat Montreal. Now, it would be hard, but we could beat Montreal twice and steal first. It's not impossible. And winning this game was vital to that. What can I say? Expletive Chad Kelly. Me and my homies hate Chad Kelly. This is everything he deserved and more. And I hope that this happens to him next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that, until Cameron Dukes is named the full-time starter. He fully deserved this. And we fully deserve this. We are a good team, and this was a statement win that last week was one bad game. We're one win away from clinching a winning record. Breathe it in. We're so close. I can't remember the last time I felt this much joy as a result of an Ottawa sports team. And as always, go Ottawa! Go!